Hey vinyl community. I've decided to do the summer vinyl tag that was started by Noble Records. I have a theme that I'm going to try and do the whole way through. There are a few things that I couldn't figure out, but my theme is Joni Mitchell related. So I think probably about 80%, maybe even more, of the whole thing is going to be Joni. So to get into it, number one, an album with summer in the title or a song. So Summertime, this is Joni Mitchell at Newport. Came out last year, I think, and it has the song Summertime in it. I'm going to try not to have this last for an hour, so I'm going to not talk about every single detail that I possibly can. All right, already we are not on our theme. Latest heavy pull is this Black Pumas. It's not, it's not like I scored a, original pressing of a Beatles thing or anything, but I'd wanted this since it came out, like about 8 or 9 months ago, and I didn't buy it because what I try and do is not pay full price for records because they're just so expensive. So I have a couple of little places that I go. One of them is a discount store that's pretty close to me. So I just kept waiting and hoping that they would get this. And then I think over 4th of July weekend, I got a text from my friend who said, hey, they have this Black Pumas and some other stuff. So I rushed over and grabbed it. And also it is on this gorgeous red splattered vinyl. This video doesn't even do justice to it. It's so gorgeous. So anyway, moving on, getting back to Joni. So not yet. Okay, you're just gonna have to trust that I'm gonna just randomly grab something. I've even moved my easy chair over so that I can be closer to the records. So, all right, Whack-A-Mole number 3. I just randomly pulled this out. It's Larry Young Unity. It's a Blue Note. We all know what the Blue Note label looks like. I like this album. I have to say this is not one of my favorite jazz albums though. It's jazz guitar, which isn't necessarily my favorite instrument, but it is really good, and it does have Joe Henderson on it, who I am a huge fan of. It says that I bought this in August of 2022, and that is probably correct. So anyway, that's my Whack-A-Mole. Just to let you know, I didn't have that planned. This would never be the one that I would want to talk about, right? I was just like, I'm going to grab something out of the Blue Note Nook, and this totally wouldn't have been the one. So that lets you know I'm being honest. All right. So that was 3, 4. I put these little stickies on it. Ooh, you could see me in the reflection. I also don't like to appear on camera, just to keep me on track because I can't remember anything anymore. So number 4, album cover with an animal on it. Well, we're back to Joni. This is Dog Eat Dog. These are dogs. Are they coyotes? They're dogs. And then some little extra material. This is a 12-inch single of Good Friends, also from Dog Eat Dog, and it has a dog on it. And then another one, this is Shiny Toys, also from Dog Eat Dog, and you can barely even see the dogs there, but they're there, and if you know the album Dog Eat Dog, you recognize this picture. So these two 12-inch singles, I got these recently, and I'm going to talk about it later. I'm going to talk about it down in number 18. So I'm going to move on to number 5, which is an album with a great story. So this is not Joni. This is Sleater-Kinney, one of my favorite bands. I absolutely love them. I bought this record on eBay, and I thought it was just the regular record. So the guy had, not very much on it, right? It wasn't listed for a whole lot, but he did list make an offer. So I think it was like $10, and I offered him 8 because I just thought it was the regular record, and he turned it down. So I was like, well, I want this record, so I'll just get it. It's $10. So I grabbed it, and then once I got it, it's I'm trying not to show. It's just going to happen though. It's the if you can see it, it's the oh gosh, I can't think of what they're called. The deluxe version. So it's got like a poster. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in it. So when I got it, I was like, God, I got this for $10. This is great. So part 2 of the story is Sleater-Kinney was going to be here where I live before COVID, I think, and I had tickets to go, and there was a tremendous thunderstorm that night, and the show was outside, so it was going to be canceled. Then it cleared up enough, but I decided not to go because due to the tremendous thunderstorm. I had a dog at the time. My dog has passed away recently, but he was so scared of thunderstorms that I wasn't going to leave him home by himself. So I decided not to go. And then it cleared up enough that Sleater-Kinney performed their show, and they just did it real quick. A friend of mine was there, and he said it was like about 45-minute show. So I missed it because I loved my dog so much that I wasn't about to leave him in a thunderstorm. So I had hoped that day that my friend and I were going to go to Soundcheck and see if we could get an album signed, and this is the one I was going to bring with me. But because it was COVID, like it was just at the beginning of COVID, I think, the tour manager said, no one's signing today. So I just went home and I thought, well, eventually they'll come back. And then, like when we were getting out of COVID, like when they were having shows, but you had to show your vaccination card and you had to still be masked up. I went to see I don't know how they say it exactly, the Quasi, or just maybe it's just Quasi, I think, or Quasi. I'm pretty sure it's Quasi. So I took the actual sleeve out, and after the show, Janet came out and I had her sign it. So that's Janet Weiss, one of the greatest drummers of all time. Then this just sat, in my collection for 3 or 4 years, I think. And then earlier, maybe May or June, Sleater-Kinney came through town. So my friend and I decided we would go try and get them. So this time, we were waiting not very long in Corin. The bus pulled up and Corin got off the bus. So she signed my record, and then I was like, all right, I got 2 of them. Then we waited and we waited and we waited. I mean, I really think we waited 2 or 3 hours. And then all of a sudden I saw Carrie walking up, and she tried to go in the closest door because she saw us, and she tried to go in the closest door, but it was locked, thank goodness, because then she had to walk past us. And my friend was facing the other direction, and I was like pulling on his sleeve going, it's Carrie. But he just wasn't hearing me. I think he was just talking about something else. So he turned around and he's like, oh, Carrie, would you mind signing for us? And she walked over really fast. She did it, and she was awesome, right? But she wasn't, she would have preferred not to. And then also, if you know these cards, she also, pull it out so you can see it a little bit better. It's not much of an autograph, but she signed the card for me too. So that's my story. So where are we at with a great story? I hope you thought that was a great story. Number 6, album we'd be surprised to see in your collection. I'm frankly surprised to see this in my collection too. It's Barry. It's The Manilow. I did not buy this album. A friend of mine a few years ago she had kept all of her records from teenage college years, and she said, "Oh, you collect vinyl?" And I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, okay." And then the next time she came over to my house, she had like 100. She had a big bin, big tote full of records that she gave me, and this is one of them that was in it. um, so this one's for you, Barry. You finally made it to a YouTube video about vinyl. Not into negative of a fashion. So let's see where we're at. Number 7, Cheap Heat. This is one of the greatest albums of all time, if you ask me, and it's still going for like under $20. I think you could probably get a pretty good copy of this for like 10 to 15, maybe even, and that's a really good price for one of the greatest albums of all time, if you ask me. So did I even say it's Bonnie Raitt, Nick of Time, iconic album from the early 90s. Did it come out in like 91? I should have looked, but I didn't, so I don't remember exactly. All right, number 8, a 45. We're getting back to Joni, as we should. I'm trying to stack these so they don't fall over, so bear with me. If you've never watched my videos before, I am called One Take Charlie, and that is because I do one take, and I am so low tech. This is just my old iPhone. This is my easy chair that I sit in. Yeah, so it's pretty low tech. All right, a 45, and what I'm going to do is a few 45s. So this is Why Do Fools Fall in Love and Black Crow from Shadows and Light. This is You're So Square, Baby, I Don't Care from Wild Things Run Fast. I don't know what's on the other side. Oh, Love is on the other side. Good Friends from Dog Eat Dog. There are the dogs again. This is not a picture sleeve, but this is Urge for Going, which isn't on any of Joni's main releases. So that's why that's in there. And then the last picture sleeve on a 45 is My Secret Place with Peter Gabriel. Just trying to see what's on the other side. I don't remember. When I touch the vinyl, you're gonna get mad at me. My Secret Place. Lakota. Lakota's the other song. All right, bear with me for 1 second. Okay. Number 10. Nope, that's not where we're at. Number 9, favorite music documentary. Sticking with our theme, I'm going to go with Last Waltz. The band, of course, and Joni does an amazing version of Coyote. She just comes out, she smooches Robbie Robertson on the lips, and then she just goes into Coyote. And I always think it's funny because if you watch the bassist, Rick Danko, he just looks like he does not know what the hell's going on or how to play anything with this song, because it's just such an amazing song. Also on The Last Waltz is Emmylou Harris doing Evangeline, which I just think is one of the greatest songs of all time, and I love Emmylou Harris. All right. Where are we? Number 10, a box set. So this is a little bit of a cheat because these are CDs. I do have a couple of box sets, but not anything of Joni other than this one. So these came out maybe 2017 or something. It has really cool stuff in it, like this card, Teenage Rock and Roll Club, signed by Joan Anderson, 1957. It has little booklets that have, told you I was low tech, have all these cool things in them. I'm not gonna really show this too much, but just a quick flip through. And I'm going to try and not destroy this when I move it. All right, I'm just going to put this up here. Bear with me. Sorry if you're getting seasick. Don't blame you. Is this 11 most trashed record in your collection? Yeah, this is For the Roses. I bought this 2019 for $5. And it is pretty trashed. You can maybe see the edge and how messed up that is. It also has a lot of clicks and pops when you play it. I've put it through the spin clean a number of times. Still has a bunch of clicks and pops. So maybe 1 or 2 years ago at my discount store, they had a repress of this, so I bought that. So yeah, it's a brand new record that I play most of the time now because I just can't get this one to stop. I don't mind clicks and pops here and there, but this one is just super, 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 super trashed, which makes sense. It's an amazing album. All right, 12. We're getting away from our Joni theme now. A local album. I've decided to do, I grew up in Northern California and now I live in the Midwest. So I decided to do a local album from California and a local album from the Midwest. So we're starting with California, and this is Cake. I did grow up in the Sacramento area, and Cake is one of my favorite bands for sure. So I decided to pull this one out. It's also, I'll just show it because people like it. It's on yellow vinyl, so that's cool. The only local Midwestern album that I have is this one. It's City Light Orchestra. And I have to say, I don't like this album at all. I've listened to it, and these guys don't do much for me. I'm just showing this because there's a Mingus song on it. Goodbye Pork Pie Hat is on this, which is really why I bought it, because I thought, oh wow, they're covering Mingus. This is probably going to be cool. It's just this weird version of Pork Pie Hat, and I haven't listened to this in years because I didn't really care for it, but these guys are local, so I decided to go ahead and just grab this. You know, it occurs to me now, I could have picked like some jazz guys like Charlie Parker or something, so I don't know why I didn't do that, and I thought of this record first. And that's a drag, because I do have some jazz stuff that I could have shown. But anyway, we'll move on. 13, an album from a faraway land. Russia is pretty far away. And I recognize the characters, but I don't read any Cyrillic at all. I got this for free. There is a place that I work sometimes gets some donations, and my friend who receives the donations, he'll call me and he'll say, hey, there's a bunch of records down here, come down fast, because they get moved pretty quickly. So what this is the national anthem of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So yeah, that's pretty far away from where I am right now for sure. So 14, a soundtrack. I'm going to show a few soundtracks because I do love soundtracks. So this is one of my very favorite shows, Dreamgirls. I did see this on Broadway in the 80s. And it just remains one of my favorite shows of all time. I love it. The music is amazing. I'm showing this one, Aliens, because when I was thinking about what records I'm going to show, I thought about this one. And then I thought, well, I want to show Dreamgirls, though. And I'm like, I'll just show both. So, 1, I love this movie. 2, I love Sigourney Weaver. 3, the vinyl is on, let's see if I can see it pretty good. The Xenomorph blood splatter is the color for this. This was a record store day record. I don't know when. 3 or 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I bought it not because I was going to play it all the time, and honestly, I've only played it a couple times, but I love the movie so much, and I do love the colored vinyl, so I picked it up for that reason. Then I showed this recently, and I'm just going to show it again real fast. Saltburn came out November of last year. You either loved it or you hated it. There isn't a whole lot of in between. I loved it. I love the director. I love Barry Keoghan. I thought it was a great movie. I loved it. And also, it is on, it shows the bathtub drain. If you've seen the movie, you know why that is an iconic moment. And so this is dirty bathwater, with a little semen included. So yeah, I wanted to grab this. And I did. Again, I don't play a lot of soundtracks all that often, but I wanted to have this because I like the movie so much. And then I'm including Shine in here because it does stick with our theme. And it is the music from a ballet. So I guess it does actually, I guess it could actually be considered a soundtrack, or it is considered a soundtrack. So I haven't played this album that much over the last few years. So I am not an expert by any means on Shine. I do know, see if I can remember the lane, like Shine on Another Asshole Passing on the Right. You know, which that is just classic Joni. And it just kind of harkens back to Dog Eat Dog, you know, when she was just so pissed off about everything. We were all pissed off then. So yeah, I mean, it comes full circle, you could say. And I'm going to put this on and listen to it more because I know it's a great album and I just haven't invested that much time in it over, you know, since it came out. So I'm going to. 15, highest recommendation, Joni Mitchell, Court and Spark, iconic album. It really feels like there's just like one song, you just play it through, you know, like one song just melts into another one. It's one of the greatest albums ever made. You can still find copies for not very much money. This album, I mean, some of these are trashed, of course, because, you know, people like me played them to death, but you can find a pretty good copy for not all that much money, and I hope that you will go out and do that because it's amazing. All right. 15, so 16. 16 is highest on your want list. I'm going to go ahead and just say Cake again, because I know there are two Cake albums that I don't have, and they're just available at any record store. But again, I try and I just believe that it's still possible to find good deals on records. So I try really hard not to buy full price records because they're like $40, which is crazy to me. So yeah, so I know there's a couple of Cake records. Channel shout out. Because of this vinyl tag, I saw a channel that I'd never seen before. Gosh, I'm not going to say it right because she's Australian. Chords records. That's not even right. Anyway, I'm going to just not try to say it again because I'm going to just do a terrible job of it. I've just watched her vinyl tag, and then she has a top 10 favorite Joni albums video that I watched as well. So, yeah, my shout out is to her because, you know, it should be obvious. I'm talking about Joni as much as possible here. So, yeah, that's my chords records. That's not even, I'm sorry. My American accent is just not allowing me to get it. She lives, I think, in either Australia or New Zealand. So I just can't quite get the right way to say it down. So I'm going to move on. 17, 18, A Silver Lining in Vinyl. I kind of don't even know what this is, but this is my approach to it, is that I was in California recently visiting my parents, and I thought when I went off to college that my mom sold all my records. And I found them. I found a stash of them. So I went looking through them, and I found a lot of really cool things. Some of which I brought back with me. So one of the things is the Dinah Washington. This record belonged to my mom, which surprises me because when I was growing up, my mom was listening to Andy Williams and Engelbert Humperdinck and stuff like that. She loved Tony Orlando and Dawn. So I didn't know that in the past she liked Dinah Washington and jazz. So that's pretty cool. And this is it's a micro groove on Mercury, which is awesome. Also, this album, because it belonged to my mom, back in the day, we used to write our names on the albums because we were loaning them out to people and we wanted to be sure that we'd get them back. So my mom actually wrote her name. So it's on it, her name is on there, and it'll be something that I have like for the rest of my life. My mom is old and frail right now, so I know that she's not going to be with us. She's not doing that bad. Don't send sympathy my way or anything. But she is in her 80s, so this is just something that I'll have. That'll be a good memory for me. So that's my silver lining. Also, I was looking through these records and I found, I'm just going to show some more Jonies because that's our theme today. So this is Mingus, and it's on this Asylum label instead of the one that you're used to seeing. These aren't like valuable or anything. I think it just means or when I looked them up on Discogs, they're like a second pressing. So there's this Joni Mitchell Hojira. Also on that Asylum label. Sorry, again, low tech, sorry. There's Shadows and Light. Also on the alternative Asylum label. So yeah, it's just cool to get to, flip through and see things that I thought were gone for good. And then, speaking of things I thought were gone for good, this is 19, A Steal of a Deal. So this was free. I purchased it in the 80s sometime. I don't remember buying it at all. But what it is the second pressing of Blue. So I bought this used somewhere. I don't have any idea how much, but I know there's glare on it. But it's in really good shape. And you just don't see these in good shape. You do not see the Blue album that is, more than 40 years old, more than 50 years old, in this kind of shape. So it's a second pressing. It's not worth $1 million, but it is probably worth about like 50 or 60, I think, in the condition that it's in. So super excited. Of all the records I looked through when I was visiting my parents, this is the one that I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. So steal of a deal because I probably paid less than $5 for it in the 80s. So that's not bad. 20, and this is our last one. And I didn't look through all my Joni albums, but I don't think I have any promos, and that's what 20 is. So it's a promo. This is Ornette Coleman, Change of the Century. Repress came out recently. Killer album. I'm never quite sure about Ornette Coleman because the free jazz is just, it's so free. But this is, so the reason I pulled this out is I'll flip this over and I have to take this out, sorry. You can't even see it, but it's numbered, and I'm not even going to try and show you, but the number that's on it is 0000 of 5,000. I was a little mystified by that, so I just asked a question on Discogs, and people were saying that they thought it probably was a promo. So because it's possible that it wasn't a promo and just had a weird number for some reason, I decided to put this one in. So Wes Montgomery Trio. Nothing too super exciting, but it's on the Riverside label, and it's white, so I think that makes it a promo. All right, I have talked for 30 minutes. We've looked at a lot of records. I'm low tech. I'm called One Take Charlie. I just do one take. I just turn my camera or my video on and I just go, and whatever happens, happens. So, it's not for everybody, but it is what it is. So if you want to like this, I would appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, you can do that too. I probably post about once a month now, just saying this is what I bought for this month or the last couple months. All right. So peace out, vinyl community. Ciao.